I'd like to give some views from my experience in student governance and going through the last 3 years at this institution. Early on, hearing the dean speak, I heard a lot in terms of the economic constraints we're speaking about. We're speaking about small departments needing to come together to share administrative loads. And I hear a lot of complaint about this from other smaller departments being marginalized. And I look at what departments are growing and what is being taught. And at the same time, these departments who serve such a key role are being marginalized. As it seems, we see the expansion of other departments. At the same time, we see a new economics building emerge. And I look at my own training from the politics to the philosophy to economics, and I ask what sort of Afropolitanism was in this course. What sort of African perspective was in it, and there were some great courses. I mean, my degree was worthwhile just for 2 politics courses that I did, talking about the history of South Africa. But when I look at what is taught across from the economics to the politics to the philosophy, there appears to me an underlying line of thinking dominated by American and European theorists. I see the rational choice theory of politics backing up our economics. Now, I've heard the comment from the dean that the study of Africa is deeply rooted across this institution, and I measure it. Let's measure it in a simple way. Let's measure it about how our students here understand apartheid. And you speak to this, what is reading the Mamdani article, I can say I only glanced over, I didn't have time to go through it all, but hearing about this base course that was necessary, just thinking what potential this had. And to me, if I can measure it in one way, I can measure how our students understand apartheid, and do they understand the last 100 years of South Africa. And this to me is critical and is core, and is a measure of where we're going as an Afropolitan university. We've heard from students problems about information being available, and I think this is a problem across the board. At this university that is organized in a highly decentralized way, but power is highly centralized in other ways, it's very difficult to go and find this information. At the same time, we have a student body that comes into being every year anew. It's difficult to get consistency, and students need help and they need support, and a lot of the support needs to come from academics, and there's a failure on the part of academics to get organized and communicate with students and to tell, the SRC meets every week. You may ask to come and sit in on a meeting and inform us, and we welcome it. I mean, hearing this debate now, I'm also not a fan of the two-stage revolution, and please let us debate this a lot more. It's pretty critical at this moment in history. But and hearing about this, it seems the two-stage step to me, and I'm speaking in my personal capacity here now, it's the question I ask myself: are we celebrating having to fight for the survival of a department, or are we looking to something new? Are we really looking and taking the university taking its goal of Afropolitanism very seriously for a new school for critical inquiry into Africa? So we're not fighting to maintain departments so people can survive. No, we're pushing further. We are recognizing that fighting to understand the world in a way that is uniquely African, but takes on a global perspective at the same time is essential. But please, if this conversation must continue, and Archie Mafeje room is far too small for it, this must continue with open debates, and Jamison Hall must be open for students to hear this and debate it openly. And that must be the standard for important decisions at the university like this. Thank you.